Hey, this is Anthony at the RevZilla. You watch, decide, and ride. Welcome to our detailed breakdown of the new AGV AX-9 dual sport helmet available at RevZilla.com. Oh dear Lord, in 2011, AGV developed the AX-8, and that became the AX-8 DS, and the AX-8 EVO, and the AX-8 EVO DS. We had 9 iterations. It's taken them the better part of a decade. We finally have an AX-9. Now, I will tell you that this helmet is badass, lightweight, aggressive as all hell, and I actually rocked it on the Italian Legendary Tour with Dainese, Marco Simoncelli, who was awesome, and it's so sad to see him go, but nearly a decade ago. The AX-9 addresses a lot of the things, without losing its soul, that we would have liked to have seen many moons ago. And I'm going to start with the fact that only 2 things on this helmet went up, and there are the 2 things that you need to know. It's 4 ounces heavier, so it's now 3 pounds 11 ounces, which is still closer to 3.5 than it is the 4, and it's right in the sweet spot, if not light, for a dual sword helmet. So no issues there. I will also tell you that it went up $100, but you have a helmet essentially that was designed nearly a decade ago. Cost of raw materials have gone up, and they've changed some things. I'm actually okay with a $100 incremental push. So the new AX-9 is closer to the $500 mark. I'm hoping we see a carbon version down the road. But again, we look at these 2 next to each other. This one looks a little bit more Decepticons. This one's going to be way more comfortable to wear every day. It hits a little bit more in the sweet spot of what I consider 50-50 on-road, or I'm sorry, 80-20 road to off-road, and the old AX-8 DS is going to be really 80-20. The AX-8 was an AX-8 off-road helmet. They put a shield on it and called it the DS. And that was way more of an off-road helmet than an on-road helmet. So now that you've seen the one we're putting out to pasture, I will have fond memories of you AX-8 will bid adieu. Let's go to the AX-9 and talk about the changes outside of weight and outside of cost. Big change. Integrated venting got much better. Now you have a chin vent that you can open and close from the front and from the back, but also removes to have a full-on Bane from Batman style dirt chin vent, which they say is up to 300% better from a ventilative quality standpoint. And you can also open and close it from the back, and there's going to be foam that you can remove, just like on the front vent, that if it really starts to get dusty and dirty on you, you can clean it out as well. So you kind of have a 2-stage chin vent now, if you will. Other changes: dual-sided lips for flipping it up with either hand, which the previous version had 1. But one of the biggest changes, again, on a helmet that's tri-composite, again, it's going to be using premium materials, DOT, ECE rated, is now the peak gets a double bump in functionality. This peak versus this peak is bigger. So you have better functionality to actually do what it's designed to do and block the sun and gives you that shield. Secondarily, though, it is more aerodynamic and it is more stable. At higher speeds, this peak shimmy on you a little bit, it can buff it a little bit. Not horrible, but again, this is a different aerodynamic profile, which improves the helmet. Now, to accommodate it, they've ditched the top chimney vent. You still have 2 vents on either side that add to this improved scheme, but you do have this new peak system over top of it. Previous version had 2 screws. They were exposed. They've refined it. I now have a panel. You can still remove this and rock it in fighter pilot configuration, but you have a little bit more functionality, a little bit more refinement here as well. Pinlock ready out of the gates on this lid as well. Moving into the back, still 2 main passive vents coming down. I will tell you, though, that just like the predecessor, which was more of a dirt helmet, this guy had the big lip in front of the chin vent. You'll see for visibility, that's no longer there. I'm a fan of that. But if we look at the way the side shield change mechanism is constructed, it's still a little clunkier. There's not a drop-down sun visor system, and I will tell you, if we look at the narrowness of this open, really the height, this is a harder helmet to wear with a goggle. So by going the direction of making it more on-road friendly, they've given you a little bit less room to work a goggle strap in there and really be able to use this as your secondary line of defense in heavier or really dustier riding. And that's why for this helmet, stable at speed, it's going to be a better fit, which we'll talk about in a second, but they've really made it more for the adventure touring rider that's going to spend, call it 70-30 or 80-20 on the road versus off the road. Keep that in mind. Now, before we get into some of the other nuance changes, let's talk about fit, because if fit matters here. This bad boy, there are two things going on here. It was still intermediate oval, but it was a little bit more egg-shaped. That's the old one. The new one comes down the pipe with a little bit more of a classic intermediate oval. It's a refined AGV fit. It's going to work more seamlessly with what we see as the middle of the fairway for the US market. A little bit longer front to back, a head shape like mine. Now, the other thing they've changed is this guy is a total bear to get any kind of comm unit into. There are basically no speaker pockets. It is a tight fit. It is narrow in the cheeks and around the ears. The new AX-9 doesn't have that issue. It has foam cutaways with pockets for integrated speakers. You can now very comfortably add a Bluetooth unit to this, integrate it, and you're not going to get pressure points. I remember I rode this helmet in Italy to the Italian Alps. We all had, back then it was like Cardo Q3s, back in the day technology, or Sina, gosh, it might have been even been SMH10s or before, and we all just felt even thinner speakers that were just crushing our ears. That technology has been updated now, and with thicker speakers, you need more of a cutaway, and you have it in this helmet. So remember, fit-wise, intermediate oval, more classic. You have more room, but if you still need help, use the size chart. We'll ship for free over 39 bucks. And I'd love you to click our logo, subscribe to us, RevZilla on our YouTube channel. Leave me your comments, your questions, and your feedback on the new AX-9. I'd love to hear what you think. Now, diving back into it, obviously still a great seal. You can change out your shield depending on how you see fit. Let's really flip it though and move into the guts. So if I reach over here, grab my trusty donut. The bottom of this helmet is now nice and upgraded and finally on par with what we see really leading the pack from AGV. You now have a Shalimar liner. You still have this great neck roll, and then you're going to have non-integrated cheek pads. But you also have a pop of reflective, and this is more of a suede feel, so it's not going to fall off your bike. The other thing you're going to notice when we get into the neck roll here is this material right here is synthetic, and it's actually hydrophobic, meaning that when you do start to get wet or you do put it down, it will not wick any water in. It will actually repel water away. The Shalimar is a nice integrated step forward from AGV. It just is antimicrobial. It fits better against the face. It's more comfortable. This is more of a premium approach to the liner. We have a lower profile chin curtain now. The other one kind of came out to here. Now it's lower profile, easier for on and off, but everything again is still removable. Still double D-ring versus ratchet system. That's what we want to see here. So let's pull this bad boy out right now. Now, I'm not goading you into riding outside of your comfort zone or in terrible weather, but if you're going to buy gear that can be multi-season, ride multi-season, get more miles on your bike each year. Now, as we pull it out, it is an integrated cheek pad system. I might have misspoke earlier. I meant to say that it was one piece interconnected. Notice the change in material, and this is, like I said, the premium Shalimar liner. It goes all the way around. So it's like butter, everything that's going to touch your skin. Moving to the inside of the helmet, remember, we talked about the speaker system that has the cutaways. Let me put this bad boy down right here. Notice these speaker pockets with a removable piece that closes that hole when you're not using it, so no air gets in there, no external circulation, no additional noise. But again, that comes out. And let's look really quickly at our 3D comfort line, which is using a lightweight mesh to keep it together. If I turn it inside out, notice nice wicking Shalimar all the way around, antimicrobial, nice, comfortable, luxurious against the skin. Different material down here beyond the occipital ridge. You're going to sweat a ton down here. The only thing I could kind of gripe at is a thing that we see a lot in the dual sport or off-road world, which is going to be connection points along the forehead. Depending on your head shape, you may or may not feel that a little bit, but it didn't bug us when we were wearing it. Sometimes these are overly pronounced, like in the older Schubert helmets, and you get a pressure point. We didn't notice it there, but in the future, we'd love to see AGV move those onto the brow line, plastic to plastic, out of harm's way. If we open up the lid, big 10mm vent holes, which are the standard in the industry these days. We could see a little bit more channeling to get that air around, maybe through the mohawk and down. But again, you should have no issues from the ventilation side of things. 2 in the back, whoop. You have 2 up front in the chimneys. Remember, they got rid of that 5th. But the big story here is going to be the 300+% increase on the chin, which is when you're sucking wind, that's where you want it to come in. And you still have that mesh liner behind that grill, which is, again, going to keep the dirt out. So all in, it got more refined. It became less aggressive. It became less off-roady. You might look at that and scoff at it and say, that's not the lid for me. But for a lot of you out there that are riding on-road, off-road, you want better functionality, better comfort from both the liner, the shape, the peak, the integration of Bluetooth units, the ventilation. They've taken a big step forward here. Now remember, it's still carbon fiber, aramid, fiberglass, tri-composite. It's still very light, 3 pounds, 11 ounces, not getting close to that 4-pound range. But with the safety standards, DOT, ECE, it did go up a little bit. Ultimately, I believe the change changes in functionality, comfort, and performance justify the extra $100. They've gone up in base level price, and I'm not as worried about the weight. Again, that seems to be on par with the industry right now when you are playing at this level. So the next step in your journey, click the info button, your desktop, your mobile device. Visit the product detail page at RevZilla.com. Read other rider reviews. Shouldn't just take our word for it. As always, we'll ship free over 39 bucks. If you want to talk to a gear geek, see us at RevZilla.com or 877-792-9455. Thanks for watching. I'm Anthony. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We'll see you next time.